Okay, welcome back to the Rust Wrangler channel. So you can see I got the 77 Lincoln behind me right now. I want to get this thing out of my yard, but before I do, I think there's one more thing I want to try to do with this car. I'd like to see if I can get it to do a burnout. It's got a big block in it. It's a pretty heavy car, but I'm determined to try everything we can do to hopefully get this thing to burn the tires off. I mean, we could try unhooking the rear brakes. We can unhook a bunch of the accessories off the front of the motor, as far as like taking belts off and whatnot, free up a few more horsepowers. I uncovered the marks on the dampener so we can hopefully make sure timing is spot on. I'll show you the interior here in a minute. I did clean that out and it's looking pretty good. So let's go ahead and just jump right in. So it's kind of hard to see, but you can see the pointer here and the white mark on the dampener right there. That's going to be where the timing needs to be set at. It was pretty covered up by dirt and grime, so I had to do a little scraping on there. But regardless, we got her uncovered, so hopefully we can get this thing dialed in there. I'm going to show you guys the interior in a minute. Like I said, I did get a chance to clean it out, and she's looking pretty good. Look at that seat. There's a few things still dropping down off of the ceiling here. You can see I took a bunch of that stuff that was hanging down from the roof here and just scrapped that also. But for the most part, this interior cleaned up really nice. Cleaned up all the glass from the windshield. So that's a little nicer. Won't be any glass shards flying everywhere. As far as the fuel running out of the fuel tank, I decided I'm just going to throw a couple filters in the line up here, and we'll just keep an eye on them and change them out if we need to. They're cheap, and hopefully that'll do the trick. But I think let's go ahead, start by getting that fuel line hooked up and see if we can fire her back up, and then we can start trying to adjust a few things here and there and see if we can get a little more power out of this thing. Okay, I'm gonna quick throw a fuel filter in line here, and that way if any junk comes through the lines, we can snag it. And these are pretty cheap, so it'll be easy to just basically throw a new one in whenever we need to. So we'll use these hose clamps that have the little finger tighteners on them. That way it's easy to take on and off when we need to. So let's see here. A very simple, easy little deal. Hopefully it works. Go ahead and throw that side on there. Oh, I need to throw a thing on. Since I'm adding a little length to this, I'm gonna have to make sure I may need to cut a little bit off of the line here, but that'd be fine. Let's just see how it goes here. It may work, may fit. Oh yeah, that'll be fine. And there we go. That's all hooked up. So all I gotta do is clean up my tools down here a second, and we can lower this car back down onto the ground. And I gotta go dump a little bit of extra fuel in the tank. Some fresh fuel. Since I don't recall if the fuel gauge works or not, I don't remember it working. I have no idea if there's any fuel in this tank. So I'm gonna add a little bit. I'm gonna throw a little cleaner in there. Might free up some more horsepower too, who knows? But hopefully then it'll just kind of clean out this system. It might fill up that filter I put in there a little quicker, but that's all right. That's why I bought a couple of them. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this in there and see if we can't get some fuel up to the front. I better make sure I don't got nothing leaking down here. Nope. So far so good. Okay. There we go. So I know I got some fuel in there now. It does not mean that there could still be plugged lines, or maybe the little pickup tube is clogged up. Who knows? If that's the case, we'll tackle that once we find out if we're getting fuel up front or not. For now, I just wanted to see if maybe if we could get fuel up, then I'll just run it. So I cranked on the car for a little bit, see if I get any fuel up to the filter there. And only if I dumped some fuel down the carb and got it running. I got a little bit up there. It's extremely dirty. But then I came back here and I noticed this hose is completely collapsed. So it's just the suction on this thing is just it's gonna keep it from bringing any fuel to the front. So I'm gonna have to replace this little piece of line here. It's just I don't know, a foot long. So I'm gonna go ahead and replace that, and we'll see if we get any different results after that. All right, so I got a new piece of fuel line on here. It could still be clogged up, like I said, in the tank here, who knows? But I'm assuming that that old one was so weak and soft that because of the exhaust right here. But let's see if we get any more flowage out of this one. Yep, we got flow out of there. You can see the fuel squirting out of the hose there that I got unhooked. I'm gonna quick maybe throw it in a little container and try to run that nasty fuel through it, see if I get any of the clear fuel coming through, and then we'll hook her back up. All right, so I wasn't getting nothing out of the fuel line, so I ended up just finally pulling this pickup tube out of the fuel tank there. And this thing is, I took the mesh screen off of the end here already, but this thing's so packed full of junk. And if I take a screwdriver, it only goes in maybe an inch, and it's just all goopy. I mean, it's full of junk. So I'm gonna see if I can clear this tube out, but I'm also gonna probably just see if I can snag a new one, throw it in there. That's gonna probably be the easiest thing to do. Also with the fuel gauge not working, that could be this is part of the problem, that something's wrong with this, so maybe I'll fix that too. But regardless, this is obviously what's holding up our fuel line. So I checked the line coming up to the front, and that's all clear. So it's just this holding it up. So what I ended up doing here was I had this deal off the end here that that has the sock on it. The sock's soaking right now in carb cleaner. This thing was packed completely full of black goop, old fuel, you know. So I had that off, and I just basically ran a welding wire through the tube here, back and forth a couple times so I could get fluid through it. And then I ran carb cleaner back and forth, along with just a air nozzle back and forth until it finally just cleared everything out. And I just kept going back and forth until the carb cleaner started coming out clear. And I had basically a good stream coming out both ends. I had to clean this off. I put it back on. I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to try to put that mesh back around here. And then we're going to just run it, see if she works. So, anywho's, I'm going to get this all put back together, throw it back in. We'll see if we got fuel. So I'm getting this sock back on here. And I just wanted to show you guys. It's going on there pretty good, but what I'm using is this stuff called Seal All. And the first time I found this stuff was years ago at a Home Depot, but I think they do carry it at O'Reilly's now, and it's gas and oil resistant, and it's an adhesive and a sealant. So a lot of times when I'm dealing with fuel type stuff, I'll throw some of that on there if I need anything that I need to glue together. So anyways, that's what I'm using here, and we'll see if it works. Okay, so I think I got this sending unit all good to go. We're gonna go ahead and just throw it back in here. Should probably make sure this is clean a second. Yeah. Let's see here. Oh, I see. Two little notches there. There we go. Now I need my ring. It's also quite dirty. We'll get that started, and then we can just schwack it back into place here with a hammer and a screwdriver. There we go. So that's back on. I'll go ahead and throw this back on here, just even though I don't think that works. And let's go see if we're getting flow up to the front now, which I think we will. All right. Okay, I think we're there. Oh yeah. Nice, we're getting flow now. So I'm gonna go ahead and throw this back on. Let's see if that fires her up. Well, now we got something to work with. Okay, so you can see on the little tab on the distributor there, I ended up having to beat it quite a bit both ways to get it to break free. I finally got it to break free. And as you can see, maybe down there, I don't think you can see it. Timing a little closer to that white mark. It seems to be running decent. Still not running great. Alright, so I was running this thing a little bit and it was starting to die off on me. I think it was just because I was sucking up a bunch of crap out of the fuel tank there, so I just swapped out the fuel filter real quick. And also, I did end up throwing in a new, see if we can see it here, a new voltage regulator, because the battery wasn't charging, so I'd only run basically for a little bit and then this thing would die on me. Start it up, see if we can test if we're getting a charge now. So it still looks like we ain't really getting a charge. It's not going down quick, but should be higher than that, I believe. If I rev it up, it starts to climb a little bit, but I'm gonna let it sit here for a little bit, see what it does, see if it holds at 12.5-ish volts. Otherwise, I might have another issue going on. I don't know if it'll be enough to get us out where we can do a burnout, but I think I'm willing to give it a try. Now that's a burnout right there. And it's all done by this beast right here. This thing just blows the tires away. And to top it off, she's a posi too. All I did was adjust timing a little bit. I got this thing running off its own fuel tank, so we didn't have a boat fuel tank sitting on the hood. And I didn't even unhook any belts off the front. I didn't unhook the rear brakes or nothing. This thing, I just basically, literally all I did was adjust timing a bit, and it woke this thing up. So it turns out a bone stock 460 and a 77 Lincoln Continental will in fact blow those tires away. That was awesome. Again, thanks for watching. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and we'll see you on the next one.